6:32. So around noontime, maybe a little after, Donald Trump, billionaire, real estate czar, reality TV star, he's going to be sworn in as the nation's 45th president.
On the eve of his big day, the president-elect reflected on his victory and offered a glimpse of what the next 4 years might look like. Tracy Potts reports this morning from the Capitol.
The nation's capital, the backdrop for an historic moment today. Donald J. Trump, the billionaire reality TV star who critics said would never survive in politics, becomes the 45th president of the United States.
There's never been a movement like this, and it's something very, very special. And we're going to unify our country.
The Washington outsider embracing its traditions, focusing on the future.
4 years from now, the next time, we're going to win the old-fashioned way.
There's heavy security in Washington today. 100 blocks of the city shut down. Boats and planes restricted. Authorities expect as many as 100 demonstrations.
I love this country. I'm not going to let these people ruin it.
Mr. Trump begins his term without one cabinet member approved. He's expected to reverse President Obama's executive orders on immigration and trade, possibly as soon as today. But first, the speech the nation is waiting for, said to be 20 minutes long, written by Mr. Trump himself.
It's an elegant, beautiful, powerful speech. It's beautifully written and powerfully delivered.
This morning, the Trumps attend church and join the Obamas for tea at the White House before heading to the Capitol to take the oath of office. The transition from campaigning to governing a divided nation. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
And a little bit later this half hour, we'll talk live with Tracy from Washington about what's going on behind the scenes there. Right now, we want to chat with folks a little closer to home, though.
Yeah, having some coffee and a pancake or so. Kelsey Fabian is at a popular breakfast spot in Portland, finding out what people think about the inauguration. Hi again, Kels.
Good morning, Lee and Sharon. That's right, I'm at Becky's Diner. It smells delicious here this morning. I've been eyeing up everyone's breakfast. I've been talking to a lot of men this morning, so I'm trying to bring out the ladies. There haven't been a lot of ladies here at Becky's Diner this morning, but I do have Jen, and she is willing to talk to me briefly about today. Inaugural activities. You going to watch them at all?
Not going to watch them today. I have too much going on.
Got work. Completely understandable. And as far as the outcome over the next 4 years, are you optimistic?
You know, what I am optimistic about is that the people that I know and that I've been speaking with are much more engaged than they have been in the past. So I'm optimistic that we have people who normally don't participating.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. I know she didn't want to talk to us too long, so I'll save her. I'll move down here. I've got two guys at a booth who are also having a work meeting. I think Channel 6 should start having their work meetings at Becky's Diner. Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Inaugural. That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
All things inaugural.
Yeah.
So, tell me, are you excited about today's activities?
I'm always excited about a smooth transition of power. So that, for me, is what I'm excited about. And I think that's a thing that we've got to be proud of as Americans.
And how do you feel about the transition? I know I asked one of the cooks in the back, and he said he's not necessarily excited, but he's interested.
Oh, it's definitely captivating. The other thing I would say is, I'm a little bit of a skeptic, and I would say that we always get the government we deserve. So if you're not happy with the government that's in place right now, I would say look in the mirror.
All right, and optimistic about the next 4 years?
I'm optimistic about the American people. Yeah.
All right, that's a great answer, and I will send it back to you, Lee, and I'm going to get myself some pancakes.
All right, Kels, that sounds good. 6:36. Former President George H.W. Bush and his wife Barbara are improving, still recovering in the hospital in Houston this morning, but the family spokesperson says they hope that the former president will be out of the intensive care unit soon. Maybe not until after the weekend, but it is expected. And as for Barbara Bush, she is feeling 1,000 times better, she says. And Mainers, as we told you yesterday too, are sending their get-wells to the summer residents of Kennebunkport. Owners of some of the family's favorite local businesses say they hope the two are improving. A retired Secret Service agent who lives next door in Wells remembers some special times with them.
I would wish them well, and hopefully that they both get well and get back out of the hospital and can come out with us common folk.
He's probably got all the nurses laughing and he's got the doctors laughing, even though he's trying to recover, but he's going to do it with the greatest of dignity.
And the president's son, George W. Bush, is thanking the country for the outpouring of love and support for his parents. This is an Instagram post right here. He wrote, quote, "Your prayers are working. 41 and Mom are doing much better, fighting on." He goes on to say that he and his wife Laura will be representing them at the inauguration today.
Senior citizens and healthcare professionals are asking Senator Collins to vote against repealing Obamacare. Several people gathered at the Bangor Public Library yesterday, part of a traveling bus tour across the country. They say they're trying to convince members of Congress not to repeal Obamacare, especially not without a replacement plan. Senator Collins is supporting legislation that would allow states to keep Obamacare if they want to. President-elect Trump says he is putting the finishing touches on a replacement for Obamacare.
Governor LePage says he will give his State of the State address to the legislature in person this year. You'll remember he skipped that last year after there was an attempt to impeach him. So instead of a speech, he just sent a note to lawmakers in the state. But the governor says he will deliver the address this year to the legislature in person. That's scheduled for Tuesday, February 7th.
A marijuana bill that would close a potential loophole in the recreational pot law and delay pot sales for a year has passed its first hurdle. A legislative committee gave it unanimous approval yesterday. Recreational use becomes legal at the end of this month. However, lawmakers want to delay retail sales for 1 year to come up with rules and regulations on sales. They also want to ensure that marijuana use is only legal for people 21 years and older. The full legislature will discuss the bill before taking any final action.
So Portland's 4 elementary schools are a bit closer to getting a major upgrade. Last night, a committee approved a renovation proposal, so now the Board of Education has to finally decide on this $60 million renovation plan for the 4 schools, Lyseth, Przomskot, Reike, and Longfellow. Parents say the schools are cramped and need these upgrades desperately. City councilors agree but say they're worried about the cost. If the school board approves the plan, it will go to the City Council, likely in March.
And we want to thank you all again for donating to our Project Heat campaign. When the phone lines closed, there is the grand total, $114,440. Not too shabby. $50,000 of that was from the Dead River Company. That money will be given to 10 community action agencies through the United Way to help keep Mainers warm this winter. And if you're still interested in donating, you can visit keepmainewarm.org. I'll always take your donations.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Corey Frumkin, live at Lost Valley in Auburn, where I haven't been on skis in 10 years. I'm going to give it a shot here this morning. We'll have all of that coming up for you in just a little bit.
Corey, good luck. Don't break anything. I'm not coming in tomorrow morning to cover for you. I'm going skiing myself. All right, good morning, everyone. Nice quiet morning here on a Friday. That's nice for a change. In fact, we're going to get a little sunshine today. Back with the details in a second.
All right, we're back about 9 before the hour. Donald Trump becomes the 45th president of the United States today, officially being sworn in right around noontime.
And right now we have NBC's Tracy Potts, who is here to tell us more about what's going on today. Good morning, Tracy.
Hi, Lee and Sharon. Good morning. We are at the west front of the U.S. Capitol, just across from that stage and that podium where Donald Trump will not only accept the oath of office, take the oath of office today, but also give a much anticipated speech. We're told it's about 20 minutes. It's something that he's worked on all on his own with the help of his speechwriter, even tweaking it through yesterday as he was going back and forth between several events. And also that we are going to hear a lot more about his vision for the country and a lot less about policy and politics.
We see some media milling around behind you. When will those seats start filling up?
There are a lot of media milling around behind me. I mean, to kind of set the stage for you, I am on a platform that's about 7 levels high. I'm in about the middle of it here. There's dozens, which will turn into hundreds of journalists and producers and technicians. It's a pretty tight spot, too. We've had people going back and forth, but there's just not a lot of space here. Obviously, this is getting a lot of attention, not only from national media, but from international media.
We've been reporting a lot about the planned protests, a huge one tomorrow, but there are some expected there today too. Is there an effort to keep the protesters farther back? How is that whole part of this being handled?
So part of it is the National Park Service, which manages the mall, which is that long grassy area that extends between the Capitol and the Washington Monument. What they've been trying to do is keep protesters of opposite philosophies, you might say, in different areas. So they don't want pro-Trump and anti-Trump people in the same area. They want to make sure everybody gets their free speech rights, but not right next to one another. They think that that may tamp down some of the hostilities and some of the feelings that might spill over and lead to situations that they just don't want to happen on this Inauguration Day.
And one more question for you. There's a chance it's going to rain down there. There's a chance it's going to rain hard. What are the plans if that happens? I mean, obviously it's going to continue to go on, but that's going to, pardon the pun, put a damper on things a little bit, huh?
Yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of umbrellas go up, something that the Secret Service often excludes from events like this. But you know, we're on this big platform with hundreds of people in no shelter. You can see the area behind me clearly. You know, ponchos, raincoats, umbrellas. But as they say, the show will go on.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. Great to talk to you, Tracy.